All right, Master Kitty, let's go for our morning walk. Let's go to the trail. You ready? Let's do it. I'll meet you in there, okay? All right. So we'll just keep going to greet the sun. Just after 8 o'clock in the morning here in Austin, Texas, in early February.
12 seconds later.
We gonna go for a walk now? Let's do it, Mamia. Let's do it. Come greet the sun with me. You gonna come? This is his second time ever being mic'd, and he's doing so good. You're so chill, Master Kitty. You're so chill.
1 eternity later.
There he is. Come on, Choo-Choo Bear. Eating grass. All right, darling. Let's keep moving. Yeah. We need to find a place to post up and introduce ourselves. Quick introduction. My name is Nahira Jupiter. I've been putting off making these videos for a year. And so this is the first step. I live on a beautiful property where I get to walk my cat morning and evening, and indeed throughout the day, on open but fenced-in forest. For those of you not from a more dry climate, a more hot climate, yes, this is a forest. I realize the trees are like overgrown shrubs. The trees don't tower over us here. They certainly don't make me feel tiny like they do in other parts of the world. And they've got interesting textures. They're like gnarly is the word. Oh, there's someone walking across the fence and making me feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's the neighbors' people, because they're constantly doing work and construction, and I moved out into the woods to get away from stuff like that. But no, there's constantly work and construction. Yay. That's not the only reason I moved out to the woods. I'm very sensitive to energy. I'm very sensitive to electricity. I'm very sensitive to consciousness, high concentrations of consciousness. It's like noise to my radio receiver. That is the brain. Everyone's brain is a radio receiver. And for sure, I've been in areas where there's huge numbers of people, but because there's like a common goal, a common intentionality, a common sort of mental housekeeping quality about these groups of people, it's actually quite energizing, invigorating, and beautiful to be in these large spaces. Don't mind me watching these people. However, most cities are full of people who have sloppy mental housekeeping habits. You might notice a sort of tone in my voice of condescending quality, and that's because I am being condescending, not in the sense of looking down on others for their lack of knowledge about this. Just to clarify, I understand people are ignorant about what healthy mental housekeeping looks like. But more so the condescent, if that's a word, condescent, comes from a place of looking down on the educational institutions whose responsibility, the governmental institutions whose responsibility it is to foster a society that is strong, that is resilient, that is aware, not just educated. Like, to be educated is not the same thing as to be aware. So that's really where the condescending sort of quality in my tone is directed. It's not the individuals that make up society, it's the institutions which organize society. Because I'm of the opinion they know what they're doing, and they prefer us ignorant. All over the world, they prefer us being in a state that is more easily persuadable, that is more easily directable, controllable for them. Because quite frankly, from what I can see through my studies in history, my studies in civilization, anthropology, and my traveling, my on-the-ground, real-time education of life as it is in different parts of the world. From what I can see, the real power we have in this world is in our stillness within, that felt sense of stillness within. And a more disempowered person seems to be more chaotic and loud inside. So this contemplation aside, I'm making these videos for a number of reasons. The first is selfish, of course. But ultimately, the goal is selfless. And it took me a while to figure out a way that it could both support myself and support whoever these videos reach, whenever these videos reach them. That being said, I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I'm a Renaissance woman. Eventually, I'll be an author. I'm a musician. I'm a classically trained painter, studied in Europe. My kitty is coming. Hi! There he is. You have something you'd like to say? Yeah? Yeah. Hi. We'll go inside soon. He's ready. It's 45 degrees out, and his coat is so fluffy. This is Master Kitty. Do you want to give a little greeting? He was mic'd earlier in the video, but I took the mic off because if it falls off him, good luck to me finding it. Although I could. So yeah, I'm an artist overall. And Dali said, be careful of artists because they mingle with all classes of society. And this has been what I have been doing my entire life. My entire adult life, anyway. Hi. And so the number one title for me is artist, because that gives me leeway and a hall pass for everything else that comes down the pipeline. If I say I'm this or that, or I have that certification or this qualification, then that paints a picture of the parameters of my being in most people's minds, not necessarily in my mind. So I'll leave my credentials aside. I'll leave my ongoing studies aside for this introductory video. And I'll just say that I'm obsessed with mental fitness and spiritual hygiene because I am a type of medium, a type of psychic, as we all are. Some of us are just more aware of that than others. I'm also very much into the scientific method, very much into reproducible approaches to unveiling the God within. If you don't like that word God, I get it. I didn't like the word for decades. To me, it belongs to no religion. To me, you could use the word creator, source, divine mother, divine father, divinity, higher self, spirit. There's so many wonderful words and symbols that are available to that end. So that's what I'm referring to when I say God. Isn't that right? It took me a long time to let go of everyone else's version of what God is and find my own, and to own it shamelessly. I'm a big fan of taking responsibility of things and taking ownership and claiming the definition of a thing for what its essence is, stripped of what modern culture has layered onto it. So in other words, I'm a big fan of getting down to the point being essential. I hope someone found this relatively cute. I found it absolutely adorable. This is a paper straw, and it's helpful for me because I've got this big hair and it wants to cover the microphone when it's attached to my jacket or top, according to my tests before doing this video. So I'll be posting some interesting content. I'll be posting a lot of stories. And I'll put some clips in here from a previous video that I took, which I think best explains what I'm doing here and kind of points towards why I'm doing here. But the video quality was really bad, and I wanted to leave a good first impression, so cheers. It's my job to take your beliefs and gently massage them and soften the rigidity and relax the tension in the beliefs and help you connect to other parts of your intelligence, which paint a bigger picture than your beliefs ever can. And it's my job to connect you with what is inherently seeking you. The spaciousness of life desperately longs for your return to it. And you won't get there by holding tightly to your thoughts, to your feelings, to your stories, to your memories. The spaciousness of life is like a gentle vacuum. And in fact, it is the space between your thoughts. It's the depth of your greatest feelings. And it's the shallowest depths you'll ever know. It's a paradox by design. It doesn't make it less real. Nerd over there who's arguing with me in your head. I heard that. This is really uncomfortable for me to do. And I'm doing my best regardless, because it's time for me to fuck my comfort and allow myself to be absorbed into the vacuous qualities of the discomfort that has been begging for me to embrace it for now over a year. And if I'm genuinely honest with myself, there's so many parts of my personal desire, my personal wish, my personal dream of my life in this world that it's actually been like 20 years in the making to be able to do this right now. So, ready or not, I'm coming. Let's walk around and find out. Hi. Okay. You ready, Master Kitty? Let's keep going.